Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. On this video, I'll be explaining about identifying and managing the project milestone. Let's start. By the end of this video, you will understand about project milestone and their purpose, explain the contractual and financial elements of milestones, and learn how to select, prioritize, and track the milestone. First, let's get some idea about the milestone. It's the significant event or checkpoint in the project timeline used to track the progress of the project. It also marks the completion of major delivery of phase. If we complete one phase, then it is also a milestone. Milestones do not have no duration, record progress on decision point, and it helps in the making the decision for the stakeholder. Why milestone matter? Because it provides a clear progress marker for project control, and also it can use a trigger payment or approval in contract or payment gateway. If the contractor complete the certain design part, then they will get the payment, so it can be used for that purpose. Also used for the early warning. For example, if a milestone is missed due to some gates or some other reason, then it can be indicated risks to the schedule. So it also acts as providing the early warning in the schedule also. How do we identify the milestone? First, we need to review the scope and WBS for the key deliverable. What are the deliverables we need to submit to the client? On the basis of that, we need to identify the milestone. For example, if we are designing the design part for a platform, then the idea, the drawing can be a deliverable for it. It can be also a milestone for the project, submission of idea report to the client. On the basis of project requirement, the milestone can be defined. Also, we can consult with the project contract and stakeholder requirement or phase gate. For example, if you want to go from stage 1 to stage 2 or from design phase to construction phase, then we can define the milestone. So we need to define the criteria for it that is significant for project, that is risk for the project, and that should be maintained in the project, and any miss on that activities will impact the project completion. Another thing is prioritizing the sequencing. First, we need to rank the milestone based on the critical risks on the project, which milestone has biggest impact in the project. There may be different milestones in the program. Some milestone can be tracked by the high stakeholder. Some may be interim milestone which can be tracked by the project team. So we need to determine those. Also, we need to determine the dependency of the milestone which we need to complete first or we need to complete after. So we need to make the sequence logical between the milestone also, so that we can meet the project deadline and complete the project on time. Milestone type. There are some few milestones that I have given here. One is contractuals. One may be the payment or contractual delivery checkpoint. If we complete certain activity, then the payment will be done. If you submit the idea report, then the certain payment is done. After the approval, the certain payment is done. So that can be a milestone for the project. Another one is technical submission of the key document, can be the milestone in the project. Another is a permit or certificate or audit. For example, issue of the SAP certificate can be one of the milestone. Commercial part, client acceptance of the SAP document, sales target can be another milestone in the project. You can create a milestone log in the Excel sheets. For example, you can define the ID, description, due date with the owner it and what is the status for it. Also include the relevant WBS or OP package name on it, and use a clear template and update it regularly so that higher stakeholder can view it. Or in the project term, we can call a plan on a page that provide the information where the milestone is compared to the previous submission program. We can make a milestone chart or visualization. We can plot the milestone or Gantt chart or timeline or roadmap for it. So milestone represented by the diamond symbol in the P6. It is easy to identify and understand for the stakeholder. So we can provide a milestone chart or visualization for a stakeholder to understand about the status of the project. Tracking and reporting. In the most of the project, milestone is used or reporting purpose, and we submit the milestone status whether it's in track or slip or achieve. We define the KPI based on the milestone achieved on the time or average delay on the milestone. That is also one of the KPI in the project. And we also develop the dashboard in which the milestone update is provided so that the stakeholder can understand it and know the situation of the project. Managing missed milestone. If a milestone is missed, we can perform the root cause analysis on it. What was the cause or reason for the delay? We can develop the recovery plan or mitigation plan. For example, fast tracking of the project, reallocation of resource to the project that can be done to the project, and we can communicate with the stakeholder and adjust it as per the requirement of the client. Another is the governance and approval. Any approval from the governance process also can be a major milestone. As I mentioned that if we want to go from stage 1 to stage 2, we need to get approval for stage 1 from the governance process. Okay, this is all right. Then we can go on next stage. So milestone also can be used as a change approval required for the sponsor for the financial purpose or the change that we need to propose on it, and also the to ensure that the sponsor endorsement for the critical milestone for the execution purpose. If we see some examples, these are the some probable key milestone in the project which we can get when the contract document will be tracked by the higher stakeholder. Any delay on the critical will impact this date also. For the milestone tools and template that can be used is one of the primary PC or Excel Gantt chart that is used to track the milestone, or as I mentioned that plan on a page. Also we can maintain a living milestone log that can share with the stakeholder, and also we can build in milestone function a P6 milestone relationship type that can provide the information about the milestone in the project. Common pitfall and the mitigation project. Too many milestones is not good for the project, so we need to focus on the critical milestone because based on the stakeholder requirement, higher stakeholders want to see the higher level of the project or higher level of the milestone, whereas the other wants to see the internal milestone within the project. So it depends upon what milestone we are keeping, and too much will make it difficult to track. And each milestone must be clear and measurable. For example, we should not keep the milestone that is very close, like in month by month milestone is not good for the project. So that we need to have a clear milestone definition so we can measure it in the future. We need to regularly review the milestone and update the status with the teams where we are, what is our situation, is there any delay or not. From this video you can understand about the schedule checkpoint, about the milestone. They are the checkpoint of the schedule. So engage with the stakeholder defining and approving, reviewing the day. Use of logs or visual chart to keep everyone aligned. What is the status of the milestone? Timely management of milestone, improve contractual compliance and funding flow in the project. Thank you for watching this video. If you find this video useful, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Update more for the project management tips. Thank you for today.